I always like to say that all the friends I keep have one of two things in common with me. Either they share a hobby with me, or they fought in war with me. Now, I'm no soldier, so putting it like that sometimes feels a little disrespectful to the friends who really did go off and join the army. But over the years, none of us ever came up with a better word to describe just how our lives went in this town. And for every low, every high, and every moment of paralyzing uncertainty, we came up here to the Overlook. A century ago, there was a whole resort here. Now there's not much, just a road, a guardrail, the radio towers blinking up above, and the city lights blinking down below. Half a mile of straight, flat, narrow pavement connects this place to the rest of the world. If you stop right at the head of the road, at the right time of day and the right time of summer, and turn off your car, you can listen to the raucous chorus of hundreds of gray tree frogs off in the woods singing their hearts out. I always wondered what brought those little guys all the way up here to the top of a mountain. But then again, if you're gonna sing, what better place could there be for the world to hear you? I remember one night standing at the far end of the road, looking back toward the frogs, silent in their wintertime slumber, wanting for all the world for myself to be heard. To know what to even say, to know how to even express anger. As I stood there, defeated, on the receiving end of one of the hardest phone calls I've ever gotten, realizing I'd never actually felt true anger toward anyone besides myself, and not knowing how to feel it. Early on in year 2, our little gang made a kind of agreement. If things ever got too unbearable for all of us, we'd all meet up at the head of the road here, pile into the bed of the one girl's old Chevy S10, tie a brick to the accelerator, and go sailing off the cliff at the end. By the time we all agreed that things really had gotten that bad, though, we had stopped agreeing to all be friends, and I couldn't find a suitable brick anyways. Thus, the guardrail lives to see another day, and though the graffiti I remember has already been painted over and resprayed anew, it still bears the dents and scars of quite a few impacts. I wonder how many of them were intentional. I wonder how often it has to be replaced. For that matter, who could forget our dear friend from freshman year, who, while sober, climbed the outside of every building on campus, and while drunk, tried to jump out the windows of them. We held him inside by his feet. Not content with these attempts to mimic the superhero who shared his name, his next aspiration was to come up here and climb all the way to the top of one of these towers. On the record, it was just to say he could do it. Off the record, it was hard for any of us to believe it wasn't just an excuse to jump off the top. Thankfully, the barbed wire fences around here do a great job of deterring college students. And you know where he ended up these days? After piloting a Fiero into a cornfield at 100 miles an hour and figuring out his life over again, he got a job working on these cell towers, repairing transmitters 100 feet up. Nowadays, he's probably climbed up there hundreds of times, and come safely back down to Earth each time. It's better this way. Everyone who moves to this town is told, eventually, to come up here and look down at night, and see the lights of the city spell out its name somewhere around downtown. How many nights do you have to spend staring into them before it appears? I never learned the answer. I don't think I ever will. That's cool.
Man. Is that good or?
You can't do this. You already got some crossing cuts. You don't need this.